would just say, talking about, all right, the full moon is coming in 3 days. So, you know, like, now's a great time to start preparing with, like, thinking about, like, whatever it is that you want to
lead in with that, and then I'll switch over to altar. Do you feel like you want to introduce that part? Like,
sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'll go when you're done.
Okay. So really, I was just going to talk about, like, thinking about what is, like, we know that the full moon has to do with releasing things. And so as you've been collecting, like, are you looking up the meanings of these things that you've been collecting? Are you like thinking about what are generally just things that you would like to start working towards releasing? And that can be something that you can, like, work on for the full moon and thereafter. Sorry, Christian has messaged me. The full moon, and then after that, and then you can talk about altars.
Yeah, and I was thinking, like, how we had been mentioning collecting things, like, intuitively. And so the word altar also freaks people out. First of all, it's either, like, God or witches, and it feels like there's no in between, but it's so much more in between than that. And I think a lot of people do an altar space without even realizing that's what it is. Like, a lot of times people on the bedside table or on their dresser, they'll have a little space where it's like 2 or 3 items that are just personal and sentimental.
Yeah.
That give them peace. And maybe it connects them to their higher power, bonus points. But, like, you know, people have these things around all over. And maybe it's just, this beautiful picture has to be here. That's sort of like an altar. It's the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely, right.
Except it's just like, for the most part, we talk about just having it, like, by the computer or by, like, where you're working for the day or wherever you want it to be. Like, sometimes in my older house, I had a space by the bathroom, and you walk by and you could see, and the kids couldn't really be there. So I could see and kind of mentally just check in. Like, I pee enough times, I can check in, just what's up. You know, sometimes it's just that. Sometimes I just blow it a kiss. But it's just like, this is me checking in, and and then that's what it becomes. It becomes a little bit of a habit. And as you're knowing and doing it on purpose, you can, like, tune and adjust it. So, like you were saying, like, why are these things wanting to be here? Why do I want to look at this flower today? Like, why does this particular leaf or branch or rock call to me? And whether you go into that or not, can or cannot matter. That's kind of your choice. Like, you can look it all up for days. What does this color mean? Because it can do with color, texture, element, what it meant to you when you saw it. Like, so chicken. Do you mean chicken eggs? Do you mean chicken feet? Do you mean chickens because they scratch? Do you mean because they lay? Like, it could be so many different streams just from one thing. And like, you can change, just like you were talking about your Beltane altar. And so that's not one you'd recreate or that you'd shift. Do you ever shift them around or play with them?
No. Well, I've never done an altar like that before. So, I mean, it has a lot. The reason that I'm burning it is because it's mostly, like, it's got essential oils. Obviously, I won't burn those, but it's mostly just, like, plants from my garden. So they're not things, I've never done anything like that before.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're things that I love. They're, like, it's not like I'm trying to let anything go with them. It's more just like.
Oh, so that's why you were thinking maybe new moon?
Yeah, because it's just like an appreciative moment.
Is there, I wish I could fucking remember what your altar looked like. I feel like it's been 2 days, and in my head it's like 30. But so is there any wooden components that wouldn't change over 2 weeks, that they would still look like this?
Yeah. So the things that I would burn, it's like a red dead nettle flower. Mm-hmm. There's some, like, stems from rose bushes, but no actual roses.
Are they dead yet, though? Because they're probably
not yet.
Those I might save for the new moon and kind of maybe take them out of the water, or if they're in water.
They're not in water, but I was thinking I'd hang them so they could dry.
Yeah. So with my dried flowers, when I do them on an altar, if I were to burn them, I kind of like to let them get their whole life out.
Yeah.
Unless it's something like, fuck this, which I usually don't do that with flowers, but it doesn't, like if it was a bush, of course a wet bush wouldn't really burn that easy. Of course, I mean, if the fire's big enough, anything burns. But, So for me, for that, and especially with it being your first altar, I think it's a really cool way, if you don't mind me like picking that apart a little, it's a really cool way to not only remember the first oils that you used and carry that into your next new moon and even this full moon altar shift. So like say, okay, let me see if I can see any myself. So just say for the sake of ease, here I have a couple of sticks, a coffee lid, and a ring. So now we'll pretend the lid is the bowl, and I have these things arranged, right? And they've been here a couple of days, and now it's the new moon, and I'm feeling ready to release some things, and some things I want to carry on. So maybe I'll take part of the altar and put it toward my fire portion, and then maybe I'll disassemble this all together. Sometimes I'll keep a part of that one altar to carry in because it's a cycle. It's always, you know? And then for the dried flowers and anything that kind of lives forever, like a dried flower, they can dry for so long, and they can mean things for so long. Like you could see that bush changing with your next months, and that could be you're checking. This could be like a 6-month bush. Like I know that sounds ridiculous, but like if that's your first altar and it's connected to Beltane, and like that bush ain't going nowhere. You ripping that motherfucker, and then you can pluck from it. You know, if you're feeling like I need a little bit of that from what I had that day, I'm gonna take a piece of that. Or I just need, or maybe once it's yellow or brown and you're feeling that earthy call, put that on your now new altar. So like with the dried flowers, like you were saying, hang them. I love the hanging thing. Some people do that all the way around. Like they'll have a room with just hanging bunches. I have, I don't really have a hanging ability here yet, but I have this basket that I just take all of my flowers and anything that is still alive but not alive enough to have water or dead enough to burn and get rid of. And I just keep it and toss it all in here. There's like feathers, the sage when it's done saging and burning, obviously, like that. And then anytime, like I'll look through if I need like yellow, like I want some solar plexus energy, or if I feel like I need sunshine in my altar, I'll go find a yellow. I got a banana flower rose, you know what I mean? I have a fucking hornet's nest. But there's even a fake flower that I play with the fake flowers, because this was one of the flowers from my sister's wedding, from one of her baskets that my girls carried in the wedding. Yeah, it's just an orange flower, but this also represents like the sacral chakra and creativity and flowers. So like, you know, but like I got pine cones, like, and I just keep this, and this is kind of pretty just by itself. This is like my living dead altar. It is, like, you know, like it just, and again, you can go as big or as little as you want. It kind of starts and grows, kind of just like you did with the moon. And I know you talked about this, I think in the first one, where it was like, you started doing it and you noticed it, so you did it more, you know, and now you're making your altars and you're about to start burning that shit. You're a witch. Yay. So like, you know what I mean? But like at first it's like, I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm just writing on leaves, which I want to do that this time. I'm hoping I have a fucking bay leaf. But like,
I'll bring them. I have.
Oh, yeah, you're coming.
Yeah, I can bring them.
Yeah, you can throw a bay leaf at me. Maybe paper.
Yeah, right.
So I was thinking about this fire. How can we? So we should come. Is this appropriate to talk about now? The full moon, like a share.
Yeah.
So I was thinking. So if you're playing with the altar idea, I think that's pretty much as far as we're going to go with that at this point. Anything goes. There's no wrongs or rights. It kind of changes as you do things. Sometimes a piece will stay on my altar for the whole year. I have some rocks that never come off. My mom rock never comes off, like unless I carry it around. But like some pieces, they're just there for a day. And then sometimes like if I wake up and I know there's something I need to tend to, like I'll put one thing and that's my thing, the thing I don't really want to do, but I know it's good for me. And once that's done, it goes away. You know, it's kind of like a to-do or a to-get-to list without a list. It's just a mindful, this is me, you know, like I'm here, you know, and nobody has to know. Like it's pretty private. Like it could be a fucking rock, or I used to have a picture, a photograph was just the altar at one point. So it can be anything or nothing. So yeah, I really, really am excited for the full moon. I really think if it's possible, what I would like to do, and anytime, anything that you're feeling, I want to know, obviously. But like, I would love it if we could do our fire part and then actually have our Zoom. I think I can set the Zoom up to do it with the fire.
Yeah, that sounds great.
And then anybody that wants to like be in there, I have a speaker. I can hear you. I will be able to make this work so that we could hear and like share and just like, you know, like the social distancing thing. I'm really trying to keep my shit cool because you're right. There's so many variables. And like, but I really think like if you're comfortable, I would love to like get together this full moon and just like, you know, you bring what you can bring. We'll put the fire like in the middle, I think, maybe like behind the house. If they call the cops, we'll just put it in the yard. That's kind of how I feel about it. And like, you know, we can just have it in the middle and you work from your space. I'll set up 2 tables.
Yeah.
We can kind of talk. And I feel like it could be sort of okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that.
It sounds big, but it can be really, it shifts. You know what I mean? It can seem like we're still close together. And I feel like sending that message right now would mean the whole entire world to me, no pressure. But like seriously, like when you were saying that, I was like, can we do the social distance style? And you're like, social distancing. I'm like, okay. But yeah, like, but I remember, I think you in the beginning were asking me to like do a social distance with the kids, and I'm like, he won't do it. He won't social distance. And I was like so afraid. But it's been over 50 days, and all of a sudden my body was getting angry. Like, and I think we have to start like making time to like take stock. Okay, it's going to be good for me to spend 10 minutes 6 feet away from a friend and light some shit on fire and talk about stuff that means a whole lot. And yeah, I'm excited. So for that, to just to round it back in, we'll share this, and then we'll have the link for anybody that wants to join for the Zoom. I think that's the right thing. Yeah, to Zoom. And then we'll just have the computer outside with us for the fire. And I'll just set the yard up and we'll just work out there. Because I'm sure I can do it in the yard. If it's 2 o'clock, they'll be inside. So we can just have the whole yard space and
the backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Do you get Wi-Fi out there? Because I can do my laptop.
I do, and I have a hotspot on my phone.
Okay.
So I can have it all covered.
On Facebook too.
Yeah. And I'll have like, I went to yoga the other day. I had oils in my bag. I didn't end up using them, but I had incense. I stuck a couple incense in the grass. I put my speaker over in the other, I threw the speaker over there and I just turned on the music. I made it like our fucking yoga studio in the middle of grass. So I'm going to like set up a table, maybe just bring your own drink. So you don't have to worry about like any of that, anything that you want, like rocks and all that shit. Mm-hmm. And we'll just set it up so that we could just stay like safe and, you know, but still do this together. I'm so excited, like for real. And I have a weird wonder about so I think I'm going to new moon this. Maybe I won't get too far ahead, but I'm already kind of like thinking into the new moon, you know, because it's always evolving, you know. So I'm thinking a little bit about this release, and I just want to toss it out there. Maybe if anybody has any ideas about like letting go of family members' ashes when they can't get to the place that they want to go, but the time feels important. So if anybody has any really good ideas, I would love to hear that. And is it weird to burn ashes again?
No, that's not weird.
You know, like that's kind of where I'm thinking, like how, you know, because so I have a small confession before we hang up. Okay. I made some moon water that I wanted to keep and preserve. And I did oils and herbs and bottled it, but not in a way that you jar it, you know, like I put it in there. Well, turns out that's frowned upon. So
what happened?
I don't know. I'm partially wondering if when I tossed a little bit of it in my plants, if that made my plants sick, even though I did it right after the moon. But I just got a message the other day when I was playing with it. I was making some magic from Grace's thing.
Oh, okay.
Not for love, just more for like, stop being, you know, just calm. It was a peace one. So, you know, but I went to open the water because I was like, oh, give me some of this. I was like, oh, the moon, the whole energy was like, you're in
wow.
Whole problem. So I was like, you hear me on the video, I'm like, ouch, just a little. So I did just a little on the candle, and then I'm getting rid of the rest. So the universe said, Nancy, when you want to, we can make holy water that we will use uncontained for the duration of its uncontainering. But I am not to trap water and try to call it things that it's not. because
What did you put it in? Did you put it in plastic?
no, I had jars. I had one little jar.
Like a glass jar?
Yeah, with a lid, like a jarring jar, but I didn't do the whole sterilized,
Yeah.
I put it in and like you could just smell like there was lumps.
Wow.
And I was like, ooh. And in my head, this was gonna stay like a bottle of water.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Wow. I've never tried keeping anything for a long time. Or I've done it in oils, but like in olive oil and or fractionated coconut oil. And
Do
I'll
you
put
have
like,
anything to bring with you to make anything like that this time? Because that's actually what I was told. I'm allowed to do this with oils. But this is not a thing we do with water. So
yeah. Or if you do it with if you do it with water, you do have to just make sure everything is sterile.
right. So that like
No problem.
but then it's like, like perishable also. I feel like I should have had it in the fridge. You know what I mean? I think there could have been many other things happening. Except for growing bacteria. I was gonna this is some blessed bacteria. I'm shut up, Nancy. I was about to say some COVID. Shut up. Stop. Okay. So yeah, anything you can think of tomorrow to bring, or when is it, Thursday to bring? Yeah, let's do that, and we'll like check in. But I want to make, I think I would love to make it like a great big old fucking thing. I was trying to find fireworks, but so far no luck.
Oh, I saw that. That's so funny.
I mean, like in my head, what's the worst gonna happen? They're gonna call the cops. I'm
Like, sorry.
no, we can set off fireworks. It's a full moon. Did you know? This is the last super moon, officer.
You have to do it.
It's my religion.
Fireworks are my religion.
Yes. Yeah. Cool. Do you think we covered everything? Or is there anything else you wanted to like throw in there, like that we could say to like be ready? Or maybe we can make like a checklist. I'll make a couple of notes and you can make a couple and we can like add it. I think I can add a screen to this and we'll just clip it at the end. Like some ideas, like, just some, if you want to try to make like an altar, or what did I say it? I called it something the other day because people don't like the word altar.
Yeah.
Like, it freaks them out. But it's also just like a little, like, how people do knickknacks, like it's kind of close to that. Like, like that. Do you remember those precious moments ornaments?
Precious moments. Oh my God.
That's altar shit. Just saying. Like,
I was not into that.
That's like a blessed little baby doll angel with like all kinds of, there's all kinds of Reiki up in that ceramic. So like, yeah.
Not so into that. So here's what I would say, like, so I think like the things that I feel like are always useful to have are candles, a variety of shapes, a variety of sizes. Like the tapered candles are really popular for like divination or for like intention setting. So have some of those, like if you just have pillar candles, whatever, ideally unscented, doesn't matter if they are scented though, it's not going to ruin your life or anything. It's fun to make moon water. So like get a glass jar of any size with a lid with some sort of like with distilled water in it and be ready to put that outside once it starts getting darker out and leave it out overnight. You can actually do it. So Thursday's the full moon. So you can do it Wednesday, put it out, and then just like leave it out until Thursday.
Okay, babe. Yeah. And I leave mine uncovered when I do that. And I mean, I'm sure like maybe some people would prefer not to, but the one night I did it and it rained and I just felt like it was so cool to like have like God water in my moon water.
Yeah, I love that. And like Nancy's infused it before. You had basil once, which was so good. That was
and I don't think anything for that. So for me, I don't do distilled water. I just put a tea kettle on of regular tap water and just boil it. And then when I'm doing the herbs to infuse it, I'll just give the herbs a little squeeze and drop them in, and then just pour the hot water. And then I just let it cool and all that just out. Well, if it's early enough, like now because it's sunny, I wouldn't want to keep it in the sun. But like I just let it cool and then, like you said, just put it out. And then on the table, just like set up, because we'll be at the daytime, but we could show people like a setup of like a moon water display.
Sure.
Like you could put a couple crystals around it. You could even like, yeah, you could do lots of things there. But what else were you thinking besides moon water?
If you have crystals, the full moon is the best time of the month to charge them. So you can put your crystals out just like literally on your porch at night and let the full moon cleanse and charge your crystals. I feel like those are the big things that I do every full moon, and then kind of the rest is optional. If you want to write down your intentions and the things you're letting go, then you can totally just do it on paper. You don't have to like do anything special. But bay leaves are really fun, I think. And you literally plus you can burn them. So you literally just go to the grocery store and like buy some bay leaves. You don't have to do anything fancy. And then I just use like the fine point Sharpies and I write on them.
Yeah, I'm totally excited to do that this time.
I really like it.
And then I was also thinking with the rock charging, if you have any raw rocks or rocks that you're worried about water, I wouldn't put them out for like the dew, maybe just in the window, especially because like it's really dewy some mornings right now. And a lot of nights it does rain. So like some of my rocks are super porous. Like I wouldn't do that. Like just because I mean, if you truly don't care about the rock changing its properties, that would be okay. But I would just be careful. Like the smooth, more polished stuff, a little bit of water, you know that.
Yeah.
Or maybe on some minute micro.
Right, but we're not going to.
Yeah, but like, like some of these really chunky guys. Where's that one I just got? I'm in love with it. Well, actually I got two. I got a blue one here. But like this azurite, it's so raw. Like if it got wet, it would just, it's almost like it's an ocean thing. Oh yeah, and look at this motherfucker. I can't wait to show you this in real life. Look at this guy. This is the malachite, and it's so hard to see. I'm sorry. But you see how raw and chunky they are? Like they all got, this one even looks soft, like it has fuzz. You know what? What is her name? Caitlin and the lady at Crystals, Candles, Cauldrons. She's like, that in Egypt, they used to use malachite for eyeshadow. But they only lived till they were 30, and now we know better. And I'm like, okay. Because you know why? I was like, what can we put in the water and swim in? Like a bath, Because I've been doing spiritual baths. Like, I've taught a couple people to do it, and I want to do it. Like, I want to do that once I can start working again. Like, as a healing session, people come to me, and I give them a bath. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, with the flowers, someone from a cake, and I'm like, so what can I put in the water? Because I know about blessing all around the tub, but can I go in the water? She's like, well, anything that goes in there is going to have little holes and they're like gases and all that. So I'm like, but is there anything I can do? She's like, I think she said like Shugite or whatever it's called. And I'm always like, you mean Shug Night? She's like, no, it's not Shug Night. But that's what I always say. But she's like, as far as she says, that's the only one that you can put in water safely that won't change the rock.
Interesting.
Yeah, like all her cleaning, she like went through this whole thing about like dusting. And that's why she told me, she's like, they used to put them on the face too, Nancy. It's not okay. She's like, put it around the tub, call it a day, honey. Don't put it in the water. So then I'm like, so we can't drink it. We can't swim in it. Because the one lady was like, your vagina's in there. I was like, no. It's like, good point. So yeah, don't put it in the tub.
Wow.
I do herbs in the tub, herbs and flowers. I would probably check them if you're sensitive to stuff like that, but I've done that lots of times and I've never had a problem. I just had that water experience, so clearly I'm not perfect. So
herbs are another good thing to have too, especially if you're going to have a fire. I love throwing herbs in the fire too.
Like tossing in the flames, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like with like an intention as you do it. Yeah.
Yeah. I use rosemary. Rosemary is like one of my just always calls to me herbs. So I personally just use, again, crushed dried herbs.
Bring some of your dill.
What?
Bring some of your dill.
Oh, sure. I'll bring dill.
Yeah. I have rosemary and thyme from last year's garden.
Yay.
And we'll just make like a big collective space and we'll figure it out.
Yeah. I'll bring my dill, no problem.
Yay.
So I think the most important thing though, as we close, is make sure that whatever you're doing it from a place of joy and having tons of fun.
Yeah.
Because that's really the whole point of this. Well,
yeah.
The whole point, but that's a big part of it, right?
If it feels like work, try it a little differently.
Yeah. Yeah. So don't get stressed out. Don't feel like you have to do anything. There are no have tos.
No.
Enjoy it.
No. Even, yeah, there's like, and people get worried, well, I don't know what I'm messing with. Unless you're like purposely trying to conjure evil, evil's not just going to show up like, you dialed the wrong number. You know,
No,
it's not going to happen. I promise.
You're messing with
promise about
fun and love and light. That's what you're messing with.
love and light, bitches.
Love and light.
Witches. Sorry, I keep trying to remember. We're not bitches anymore.
I can be both. It's fine.
I know. I'm like, but I really kind of liked it. But yeah. So yeah, I think that's good. I feel good about that.
Yeah.
I'll make like a little, like a sheet or a couple little bullets, and I'll put at the end just in case somebody wants like a solid, like a checklist. Because I know for me, when I was first getting started, it kind of helped like a checklist. Because I'm like a Girl Scout nerd like that, like, you know, thinking about all the things. Like, and really an easy way. I like that you mentioned candles, and I always have them, and I never work with them. Like, that's something I've been liking about watching Grace or Gracie Ray, because she does so much of that candle stuff where I lit them and I thought about the colors, but like I never actually thought about making the candle part of the work, you know, like,
yeah.
And you know, I've had candles on my altar this whole time, but it never really occurred to me, like, but that's the fun of this. Like, as you play, it's like, oh, a piece of candy. Now I can write on leaves and burn that too.
Yeah.
Look, now I'm doing, you know what, it just grows, and it's like living art that you just play with. And there's no wrongs or rights. I mean, don't drink water after you drink for a week. Don't drink dark water. You can drink the moon water for like 2 days. 2 days, and then trash the water or put in the fridge. Yeah. So, yeah, that was fun. There was all kinds of shit in that water. I knew it, though.
Oh, my God. I'm so glad you survived it.
Oh, I didn't actually drink anything. I just thought I needed to save it because it was going to be magical. And my higher being was like, that's a magical pile of shit right there. Marty was like, why don't I have Petri dishes? I could see what I was growing in there, you know? Another time. That's unschooling 2021.
You what?
That's unschooling 2021. What Petri dishes? What are those, you know, those, what are they called? Yeah, you know, mediums or whatever, those blood mediums where you put the...
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's fun.
Ugh.
Okay. I'm excited.
Me too.
Let me know if there's anything you can think of to add, and then we can make should we just man my bowl of ocean snakes?
You're like, this needs to get planted.
I keep getting wafts of God, thank you for essential oils. So right now it smells like a bunch of sea ass in here.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but this is a connection for me because I've been working up a lot of this ocean stuff. The universe told me to work with the saints of the ocean, which of course I heard Teresa and thought they meant Mother Teresa. I was like, I didn't know she fucked with the ocean. No, it's a whole nother lady. Wrong, Teresa. She ain't even got no H in her name.
Oh my God.
But you know, it's funny. Like, I didn't know. How do you know? You know, you don't know until you just figure it out.
Yeah, you don't know.
I just wanted to share that so nobody feels like there's no place of feeling like you're not smart enough or experienced enough. It's really, we're just playing. And I mean, the elements all have energies and vibration, and that's real, and your feelings are real. That's really all that has to be real.
Yeah.
You know, it's really for fun and for beauty and for checking in and connecting with nature and the moon.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. I don't think I've been this excited for something in like 50 days, and I'm not even joking.
I know. I feel ya.
Yeah, so I will see you soon, and then, yeah, this will be great. And I'll edit that first like 20 minutes of me ranting about people not going out in masks. I'll see you later.
All right, thank you.
Let me know if you think of anything else I should throw out there or add or whatever.
Okay.
Okay, and then anything else to have ready. Oh, look. Shit balls. I just hurt my elbow. I started getting inks.
Oh, wow. What is that? I've never seen that.
I don't know. I just need the crystal shop, and I got some stuff to do henna. I'm going to start drawing on myself.
Oh, fun. You should. What do you do with the inks? You write with it?
I'm going to use these to the bat's blood I'm going to use to burn for, COVID. I'm just kidding. Sort of, but not really.
Yeah, I mean, God.
Right? I mean, it's not the bat's fault, but they're getting the rap, so whatever. And then the Dove, because, purity type shit. So I just got one of each, like a dark and a light. I was thinking releasing, and so I don't know which one. I'm thinking I'll probably use this guy for the full moon. But yeah. And I don't have like a quill, but I bought some peacock feathers, and it's going to be a quill whether it wants to be or not.
Yeah, I saw the feathers. I loved them.
Because like what you were saying about the bay leaves, but before I forget, you don't have to write the whole thing. You could know your intention and make a symbol like a heart and just say, that's that. And especially with the bay leaf, because I love the idea of it, or even a leaf that you see outside like dry. Of course, the bay has like a whole lot of releasing properties, but if you just want that connection to the earth.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, and I just thought when I was thinking about ink writing on my body, that was the thing. I was like, Caitlin, can I put this on my body? She's like, I don't think I can tell you that. I was like, but will I die? She's like, I don't think I can tell you that. I'm like, would you put it on your body? She's like, Nancy. I don't think I'll die, right? She's like, well, it won't stay. I'm like, it don't have to stay.
What's in it?
Like herbs. And she said there were herbs. I can look it up. But she said the reason it's like bat's plug, it's whatever is pulverized and put into it. So these two are pretty much going to be similar colors, she said, even though they're not the same. Like this one is a little amberier. You can't really see where you are there. And this one is a little bit more bright. Yeah. But, and she had one that was dragon's blood. These guys were like $5 a piece. And since I've never played with them, like I'm not going to spend it on them, because what if I don't want to use it, Right. But I was also thinking, like, because, I have that chicken foot. I was thinking I'll just take something and use it to, like, write.
Yeah.
Play. Because I've been really loving, like, just the different parts of all of that. Like, bringing in the water has been really fun. So, yeah, just more of that. All right. I'll stop rambling.
That is so interesting. If you look it up, tell me what's in that. I want to know.
I will. Well, this is pretty much my full moon prep now, is like putting together all these pieces and, this is why I wanted it, because I have no idea yet. But yeah, so I'll find out and I'll make notes and I'll try to do it about the herbs, because I used to have little cheat cards from when we had our moon nights and I might still have those for like, eggshells, like new beginnings, and those things you can kind of like toss into the fire. Yeah. Well, we can kind of cover more. I'll just make a little like cheat sheet and put a couple ideas, like, like rosemary. What's rosemary do? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Yeah. But, and bay, like, I feel, well, like sage leaves, obviously sage is a clearing, you know what I mean? Just for the sake of like ease. But, they all have like sort of clearing properties. So you can make it as, as deeply connected or as not. So, because the ink on the leaf is fine, but that's blood, that just feels more fun, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much all. It's just playing with it and experimenting and, connecting.
I was trying to look up what rosemary is for, but I can't find it.
I feel like I might have had a cheat of that one, but I can't. I think that, let's remember. I know it's a clearing one. It may be one for manifesting too.
It's remembrance.
Ooh, like honoring or?
Yeah. Today, some still use sprigs of rosemary at funerals, and sometimes brides wear rosemary at their weddings as a symbol of love, happiness, and loyalty.
And also rosemary. So rosemary, if you're working through grief, which is a really good thing to mention, not to like bring Sad Sally back, but this is a super grief-ridden moon. And that's the reality of like the human feelings. It's grief from not being with their loved ones. It's grief from not being able to go to work. It's grief from not knowing what to go back to. Like people are grieving their lives big.
Yeah,
I mean, I just got chills because I know that's the truth. Like I keep trying that. That's why I got on that rant about the mask. Like in my head, I'm like, please just go live. But it's like, you and I have both worked through that space where you're just not there yet. So no matter how many times people shake us. I'm just feeling like, so rosemary for grief, and there's a couple other things for grief. Maybe I'll make a little bulletin about that, because and whether you can recognize it or not, maybe you just feel sad, but it's grief, guys. Nothing's going to be the same. Some people will never go back to their jobs. Some people are, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People are never going to see their loved ones again and they didn't get to go to their funeral. That's a big fucking deal to some people. I mean, no, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, shut up. She knows. I'm waiting for you to like say something. Like, help me.
I know what you're saying. It's true.
Yeah.
No, I think that you're like, I agree. People, and one of the things I was saying when I was like last week, when I was like, week 6 sucked, week 7 sucked, week 8 is gonna suck more. It's like the like understanding of what you're saying. I feel like it's settling more and more with people, especially as other places are opening and it's like proving to be a horrible idea.
Which means it's going to be more of this.
Mm-hmm.
Which means it's not go back to normal, but it means make private, personal, smart choices for yourself. I'm not going to go back to work, but I should go see a friend once or twice a week and just talk for half an hour. We'll sit in the car and just talk and have a coffee. Because this is good, but it's a big difference being in the company of someone. And we're not meant to be shut off like this.
No, yeah.
When the flowers don't get sunshine, they die, period. And it's not to be dramatic, but that's what the fuck I am. So, like, I mean, I'm a fucking Libra with a Scorpio. Like, I'm a lying Libra, first of all. None of my moons are in Libra, but I'm a Libra.
Okay.
So there's all that. But yeah, like, I feel it. And I was telling Spoon yesterday, he's like, people are just going to figure it out. I'm like, that's not going to work for me. Like, I can't. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to make myself crazy because I feel like that's my, like we all have our like purpose thing that we like fulfill. And like, like people, some people's work is for teaching because that's their passion. And some people is for protecting people's rights, like in law. And for me, I'm like, please. Fit in the fucking moon for 1 minute and your body and energy and your feelings. But yeah. And it's just, yeah. So, and you know how I get. By 3 days from now, I'll be all quiet and everybody will wonder if I'm still alive because I'll go on my rock and so embarrassed about carrying on like a crazy person. Run around in my underpants or something. And then I'll be quiet, like, okay. But yeah, it's just the way it is. Yeah, cool. I feel like that's good.
Yeah, that's so funny. I love that this is all recording.
I know. I feel like there's a spot where I just kind of want to like upload it to YouTube for people that will just sit and watch people babble. But like for the sake of learning, I really do want to like cut out the parts. Like part of me wants to like go through and like listen to all of our minutes and make these beautiful little videos that people can do. But who has fucking time to do that? Like, and do anything else? Like, at this point, I only shower twice a week as it is. Like, if I do anything else, I may never shower. That's just not a priority, Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go look up some bat's blood and dove blood. And
oh my God, I'm so excited about those.
Me too. Yeah, so anything that you can think of from your end to bring, and then anything if you want to write in, because I got a couple things, because I don't know how it'll work, I'm just going to play.
Yeah, I'm just going to bring a bunch of shit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And I'll have a couple tables, and if you want to even bring a tablecloth so you can have a whole clean space and, like, open it up, whatever you feel comfortable, I won't feel offended.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
You guys, I know you guys don't know.
If I'm in a spacesuit, I'm just going to laugh. And then I'll put the unicorn head, and then it's going to be a fucking shit show.
Oh my God. I want to get a unicorn head.
It was at Walmart or Target, and it was like $30, and it was like the best thing.
Right? Money well spent.
Yeah, it was like $25 or $30, and it was like, yep, I'm getting this.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
The next thing is that T-Rex costume.
Yeah, right.
Around in a fucking T-Rex like a motherfucker.
Yes, you would rock a T-Rex costume.
I know, and nobody would even know I was in there. It'd be so cool. All right, I'll talk to you later. This has been my favorite one so far.
What?
This has been my favorite one so far.
I know.
The energy's so much better.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, we'll get a message out to the ladies. Anybody that wants to join. I think 2:00 will probably be good for other people too.
Yeah. It's like a solid.
And if not, it'll be recorded. They can watch later. We can like play it back in our private group or whatever.
Yeah.
Cool. Elias is wearing my boots. Where'd he go? Where'd you going? He's like rogue. Oh, he left. Oh, there he is.
Nice. That's a good look.
Yeah, he was butt naked at the beach. I was like, this is a good thing about being two. Be naked.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Milk that for all it's worth.
Right,
One
right.
day people will get judgy when you're naked.
Right, especially because, he's not circumcised. So it's going to be like, what's wrong with your penis? Sorry, Elias.
Secrets. It's okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
Respect it.
Right. What you got? It's in your eye. What is that? Can I see? Putting something in his eyeball.
Oh my God.
Oh, is it a piece of bread? Oh, it's a croissant.
In his eye.
Yeah, look. Look, can I see? Look at me. Elias. You're walking into the basement with a croissant in your eye in the dark?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
You're like, okay, just check
I mean,
it.
it's just like, duh, you can't see.
You're like, obviously, that's what's happening.
I mean, you just said it. All right, I'll see you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Say bye, Elias.
Bye, Elias.
Oh, end.